Hotep, it's good to see you all. Welcome and thank you for being a part of today's Matters of Diversity with Dr. B. Got a pretty exciting show for you today. We have some students from the University of Central Florida who are part of the Society for Hispanic Professional Engineers. And so I'm really excited to kind of have them be a part of today's broadcast. And I'm going to bring them on very quickly so that we can get started. First, we have Carlos Arboleta, Industrial Engineering Senior. We have Anthony Porlis, Industrial Engineering Senior. Valentina Nino, Mechanical Engineering Senior. Kevin Wee, Mechanical Engineering Senior. Santiago Valdez, Industrial Engineering Junior. And Monet Williams, a Mechanical Engineering Senior. And these are some phenomenal students that you all need to know about. And so very quickly, I'm going to ask you all to just tell me who you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling, how's today for you, and then we'll get started with some questions to you all, okay? So let's start with Carlos. Carlos, I know I butchered your first name when I just said it just now, so tell us what it really is and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so what's up everyone? Thanks for having me. My name is Carlos Arboleta. As Dr. B mentioned, I'm an industrial engineering senior studying with a minor in sociology. Happy Friday. It's exciting weekend. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from Medellin, Colombia. I love to read, love music, love hanging out, and I'm super passionate about SHPE and everything it stands for. And I'm excited to talk to you all about diversity and inclusion.
Nice. I like that term SHPE too. I mean, I was like, wow, that was pretty innovative how you were able to kind of put that together. All right, let's see. The next person I see right now is Anthony.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Anthony Boris, but everyone calls me Tony. So go ahead if you want to refer to me as Tony. I'm a senior industrial engineering student at the University of Central Florida, graduating in December 21. I also have a minor, but my minor is in music, right? And I like to say these things because I truly believe in diversity and inclusion, not only in terms of backgrounds or ethnicity, but also in all its forms, in different perspectives and unique ideas. And that's what music has given to me through all these years. I'm originally from Peru, but I was born in Japan, so I'm globally, but yeah, I'm super excited to be here today and share this awesome conversation with you guys.
Nice. So you bring in the global perspective, huh?
Yes, I've been everywhere.
Nice. Very good. Valentina, how are you?
Good. How are you, Dr. B?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks.
So my name is Valentina Nino. I was originally born in Bogota, Colombia, and I am a mechanical engineer. I am in my senior year. I will be graduating this December. And I am also working currently with Enercon, so I'm actually on my lunch break right now to join you guys. Very excited to talk to you guys.
All right. Well, we'll make sure that this is a good lunch hour. I hope that you have something you can snack on anyway, at least.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. Kevin.
Hey, Dr. B, thank you so much. Valentina, maybe you don't have anything to snack on, but you're going to get some good knowledge out of this conversation. You can snack on those tidbits of information. Now, I'm Kevin Jewi. I am a first-generation student from Guatemala. I was born in Guatemala City. I'm really passionate about solving problems, so mechanical engineering was really the perfect field for me. In my spare time, I enjoy going out and hiking with my dog, eating. I like to eat a lot of food, pretty stereotypical things, I think, for my age. I'm just really happy to be here. Thanks so much for the ability to introduce myself.
Nice. And Santiago.
Hello, everyone. Santiago Valdez. I'm from Lima, Peru. I'm studying industrial engineering. A little bit about myself. I love reading. To the people that the group here, they know me. I like my quotes, so I might drop a few here and there. Little snacks for Valentina, I enjoy playing sports. I love basketball, football, snowboarding. It's a little bit about myself.
So what's your favorite sport?
Oh, currently it's basketball. Okay. But if Florida had snow, it'd definitely be snowboarding.
Well, good thing you don't have snow, but I'll let you have a trip every once in a while.
Yeah.
Cool. Monet.
Hi, everyone. As you may know, my name is Monet Williams. I'm actually senior year I'm a senior year mechanical engineer, major that expected to graduate as of May 2021. Honestly, I pursued mechanical engineering just based on my childhood experience and passion in cars. Between me and my dad, we actually own 13 cars. So if you guys look up the 1990 Toyota Corolla GTS twin cam, yeah, that's the type of car that we like to work on. And honestly, as you can tell, one of my hobbies is being a car enthusiast. The other things that I like to do is really play basketball. I've actually been recently introduced to wakeboarding, so I really love surfing on lake water. It really works the core body. And it's a great stress relief, especially when you're studying. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So I have to come at you real quick. You just said you and your father own 13 cars.
Yeah, before it was like 17.
Wait, so this is a math question for you. How many cars does your father actually own, and how many do you actually own?
Oh, he put both of he put the names in both our names, so it's all of ours.
Well, all right, well, there we go. That's how we roll. That's right. That's very nice. That's very nice. So Santiago, you're the only junior here. Tell me something real quick. How do these seniors treat you?
Honestly, they're all intimidated, I have to say. No, honestly, it's been great. It's been a great relationship. It's really, I have each person here I've learned something from, and I can truly say that, starting with Carlos, Kevin, they're the people I spend the most time with. Tony, he's my Peruvian buddy here in the organization, Valentina, whenever I attend SHPE events. So honestly, each person here has taught me a lot.
Nice. So who wants to give me the philosophy of the organization and why it's so important to UCF?
So I guess I'll jump in. So pretty much what SHPE stands for is to empower the Hispanic community, building on pillars of mentorship, of academic success, professional success, and really making sure that the community itself stands for something. And the importance with that with UCF is UCF stands for opportunity, right? So UCF being recognized as an HSI in the recent years, and the growing Hispanic population within it, especially within CECS. As an organization, we're here to empower each other, and even those outside of the Hispanic community, to really be the best versions of themselves and bring as much success to UCF and to each other.
So the STEM field is so important, especially for minority communities, marginalized communities. So what would be your plea, if ever any, for those students who are coming into UCF who should be kind of thinking about engineering and or being a part of this organization?
Ooh, my plea, and speaking from experience, would be, regardless of how many times you're shot down, always get back up. Going through the hardships of the classes, finding your place in this huge campus with 68,000 people. It can be a little intimidating, can be a little rough, but keep striving. And regardless of getting knocked down once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, just get back up and know that if we can do it, then you most definitely can too.
Nice. How about you all? Let's hear from each of you.
I'd like to chime in, I think, a little bit here. I think the most important thing for incoming students is to understand why it is that they're doing, to not lose track of the bigger picture. The 4 years, 5 years, 6 years in university are really a stepping stone to a brighter future, and not losing track of what that future is. Sometimes we can get bogged down with, oh my God, I'm failing my thermodynamics class. What's going to happen to me? And maybe this isn't meant for me. But the reality is that only you know what you want your future to be. And, never losing track of that helps you get out of those weeds. And then leveraging the connections around you. SHPE is just one of those facets that you can do that, but there's other organizations and even friend groups, even, just people in your own class, leveraging that spirit, the spirit of exploration and innovation just excites people and lifts people up as they go. One of my main things that I would like to do and leave the university with is just this idea that you lift others as you rise up, right? And so one person maybe gets out of maybe a situation that they were in, and they're able to lift other two people from that as well. Right. If everybody could do that, we'll all be in a better world. So that's my plea there for people coming in.
Nice, nice, nice. Who else wants to chime in?
I'll chime in. I think my plea definitely for incoming students is no matter what background you come from, financially specifically, you can do whatever you set your mind to. There are resources out there. I feel like a child of immigrant parents, I had very big dreams coming into university. And there was that concern of, am I going to be able to do it? Engineering is 4.5 to 5 years traditionally. Am I going to be able to pay for school during that whole time? I wanted to study abroad. That is also a lot of costs. Going out to these conferences that we have, searching for jobs, that's more costs. Knowing that there are tools out there for you and organizations like us that are built to help you and to make sure that you do reach your goals and that you're not alone.
Nice, nice. Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Definitely.
Monet, Santiago.
Yeah, I could add on to what Valentina said. One of the things I really like to focus on is the best investment you can make is in yourself, first and foremost, which is why I like to read, which is why I'm here at UCF studying engineering and everything. And more than anything, I think it's important to pass on the message that you're not going through this alone. So I believe out of this group, I'm probably the newest to SHPE. I'm not sure about Mo, but I took a little bit to join the organization, but once I did, and once I was able to find a group of engineering students that are really like trying to push that bar, it's really been helpful for me, because not only have I invested in myself on the side, but now all of a sudden I'm in a group of like-minded individuals that are helping me, and hopefully I'm helping them as well.
Nice, nice. Appreciate you sharing that. Mo, since I know it's Mo now, let me say, what's going on, Mo?
I appreciate that. I actually prefer my nickname, Mo. So just to add on, so when it comes to, well, based on my experience, coming into university, the number one thing was establishing study habits. And, I was a transfer student coming from a junior college, which was Broward College from South Florida.
Nice.
And, that was the biggest challenge for me, because that's when it was really difficult for me to start out, perform the best, especially at my peak for my classes. And that was what I was really focused in. But I did realize that once I got down my study habits, and it was okay if I wasn't performing the best initially in my classes, because I'm trying to figure out which engineer major fit best for me, which happened to be mechanical engineering, because it fits best with my passion. So from doing that and, just learning from my failures is really what defines my success. And there's a lot of outcomes that have came out of my success that I feel like some people don't like to really like advocate for, or just mention, or forget to mention, because some people I know is in the same position as me today that's going through the same thing that I did. But I'm here to really tell everyone, just stay goal oriented, stay goal driven, because you pushing through and getting past your past obstacles is really what's gonna help you gain way more opportunities in the end, because that's exactly what was my case. And now I've even gotten the opportunity to be a team lead as a mechanical engineering student, especially for my senior design project that's very technically advanced. So
Right.
that was just from me pushing myself and just learning from my mistakes. And sometimes failures doesn't even only serve as a mistake. Sometimes it also just serves as a test to see, okay, is this what you want to do? Is this the specific engineering that you want to pursue? And honestly, in my case, clearly I answered the question based on my outcomes, and it worked out pretty well for me. So.
All right. Well, congratulations to you for that. Tony, bring up the rear.
Yeah, so for me at least, what I would say to someone that is just coming into college, right, is that there's no such a small dreams, right? Sometimes you set up the bar super high in your own conception, right? But I would say that, at least in my perspective, right, when I came here to college, it was my first year when I moved from Peru to here, right? And I felt that I lost part of myself, and I left behind the Tony that I built for 17 years in Peru, right? And that really marked my life when I came here, because I had my own dreams, right? And I had my own goals, right? But there was all these external problems and obstacles that were in the middle of the way, right? As the language, right? As like the unfamiliarity with the system of education here, and all these pluses that you sometimes you encounter on the road, right? But with the time, you know, after meet like so many people here, you know, I realized that if there is a challenge, there is an opportunity for you, right? And as long as you know who you are and you have defined yourself in a way that it's important for you, you know, and then you remember every day why you are here and why you're doing this, you know, I feel like it's a really good reminder of the path and the direction that you need to take in your life, you know, and that applies to everything, you know. If you are an engineering major, if you're a psychology major, if, you know, sometimes it's like you ask someone, right, where do you see yourself in 10 years, right? And then if someone says, oh, I want to be CEO of a company, everyone look at this person like, what? Well, why are you saying those things, right? It's super high, right? But let's not turn off those dreams, right? Because there is a person that with a motivation, you know, and always remember that the little dream when you were a kid, it also a good reminder for you to take control of your life and your decisions, where it's going to take you at the end, you know?
Nice.
That'll be my...
Thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
So I know this group welcomes you all and you are a good team together. How has the university welcomed you all? How do you feel about that? Monet, you talked about coming in as a transfer student. Some of you may have come in as transfers as well. We know that transfer students really make up a good bulk of who we are at UCF. Tell me a little bit about your entry into the university as a whole. Do you feel as though the university has been welcoming to you?
I can speak a little bit about this. Yeah, I don't know if I have a unique circumstance. I can only speak about my circumstance, but from the beginning, I felt very comfortable at the university about being welcomed. I came in kind of like a goody two shoes. I would go to all my professors' office hours and had great relationship with my professors. Valentina was one of the kind of like the first people that I met that I kept having a conversation with. We took a class very early on, maybe I think it was like our sophomore year. And always people like that kept on kind of like popping up, just people with great perspectives and a welcoming environment. Now, of course, there's situations that aren't so welcoming, but that's going to be everywhere. But as a whole, as far as UCF is concerned, I felt like there has been a lot of energy put into being an embracing community. And weeding out practices that maybe are not so inclusive. So far, it's been a 10 out of 10 for me. And so kudos to anybody that's involved, even in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. They have a hand in doing that type of thing. So yeah, I've had nothing but a positive experience.
Well, that's good, because I was going to say, tell me one, at least one, but you said 10 out of 10, I can't even come to you anymore. So what's going on with others? How you all feeling about being welcomed here at UCF?
I can speak a little bit on that. So when I first got here, I'm not gonna lie, I felt completely lost in the numbers. There were so many of us and I wasn't used to being on such a huge campus. So for me, I didn't live on campus, which was also like a big thing. I lived maybe 45 minutes away at the time. So I would literally come in, go to class and leave. It wasn't until my later, maybe my sophomore, junior year, where you have your core engineering classes and you see all the same people in all your classes. I also became a SARC tutor for statics. So once I started becoming more involved and having to stay on campus and study with all the same people, in the Atrium, of course, we love and miss our space in the Atrium that we could just study together. You start meeting more people and you find that little niche inside of the big community of what is UCF. And then obviously once I found SHPE, forget about it. That was family from the start and will be family forever. Nice. But yeah, I think it's easy to get lost in such a big campus at the beginning. So I highly recommend seeking out those smaller niches, whatever it is that you are passionate about or that you identify with, to making such a large campus feel more like home.
So tell me about the Atrium and where the Atrium is located.
The Atrium is in the engineering building. It actually used to be the space between engineering 1 and engineering 2. And then they made it an indoor space. So they built it, and there's these big whiteboard tables, circular whiteboard tables all over. And we would always claim that SHPE always had a table reserved, because we just had so many students that were such good friends and would study together. And we would take at least one whole table, and they're big tables, to 2 every single day. People would come in and out. Some would study in between their classes, then leave for their class, and someone else would take their space. And it just became an amazing space where we could just find each other. And it wasn't like this rigid thing of like, oh, we're meeting from this time to this time. It was more comfortable, casual. Whoever could would come. Maybe you would just walk up to them and be like, "Who, you guys want to have lunch? Let's go have lunch." You would have lunch, come back, keep studying. Engineering is very demanding, and to have that like relief for that group of people that's going through it with you is so fundamental.
Nice. Others, and about feeling welcome at UCF.
To jump in, to kind of piggyback off Valentina's experience. So I was a commuter for about 5.5 years, living about 30 to 45 minutes away. So when I came into UCF, I'll be honest, UCF wasn't my first choice as far as university goes. And when I came in, it was coming to terms with my decision and really trying to find my place. So when I came in, it was a little overwhelming. There was a lot going on. There was a lot to kind of readjust to. I was so set on leaving Orlando, leaving Florida. So having to stay in Orlando for university was kind of an initial Debbie Downer. But then I got to campus, and then I started meeting people. I started getting involved. I found SHPE, and it got to a point where every time I'm on campus, whether it's the Atrium or even in the garage, you breathe in and you feel a sense of home, like you feel like you're home. You feel like you found your place. You feel like you found an area that really accepts you, that speaks for opportunity, that really allows you to be who you want to be. And part of that had to do with all this free swag that you got around campus over the years. They make you feel, that made you feel, all right, I'm a part of something. They're making an effort. They're trying.
What's your best swag? What's your best swag?
Ooh, honestly, I would say the impressing t-shirts on Market Wednesdays. Those were some of the better ones. You would just hop in line. Top tier experience though has been Spirit Splash. I was a little upset that we couldn't do that this year. But yeah, no, I mean, UCF, they really made it a point to make me feel welcome.
Nice.
To the point where they completely changed my mind as to wanting to come here, to the point where if I could do it all over again, I would make UCF my first choice, even as a commuter. So thank you, UCF, for that.
Oh, I'm sorry for the competition, but yes, UCF is definitely happy to have you here. So thank you for making us your choice. Mo, and I think we haven't heard from you and Tony, I think.
Yeah, I can go first. Maybe from my circumstances, right? I don't know if you remember, but I in the beginning when I was introducing myself, I said that I was born in Japan, right? For 7 years, I was surrounded of a culture that was not mine, with different people, different perspective, and a different way of living, right? After those 7 years, I moved to Peru, to a totally different culture, different like perspective, different people, different streets, right? And then I moved from Peru to United States. That it's even different, even more different, right? I feel like United States is like the summary of the whole world. You can find one person from every single country in the world here, right? So when I came to UCF, I really felt that I was surrounded of so many cultures, and that's something that really amazed me. And just because of that, I felt welcome since the second number one. I remember talking to people from Germany, people talking from Middle Eastern, like Asia. And for me, it was so different and so refreshing that it really made me feel like I was learning, I was getting something out of this, right? I always think like each person has something special to offer to you, right? In a conversation, in something, in a memory, whatever, you can get so much out of someone, right? Even just having like a global UCF department, that is just specifically for international people, really shows the commitment that UCF has with this diversity and inclusion portion, right? It's to feel everyone welcome. Doesn't matter where you come from, right? And I kind of like reinforced this when I joined SHPE, right? I remember I was with Carlos, going to Daytona 500. That is one of the fundraising events for SHPE, and since second number one, I was talking to him like I was talking to someone that I met like 5 years ago, right? So it was a really good feeling, and I really understood why we use the word familia to kind of define SHPE, right? Because if you go everywhere, what is SHPE? SHPE is familia, and sometimes sounds cliche, but once you get experience, you realize that really makes sense, and that really what we meant, So yeah, I feel like I felt pretty welcome, like since day number one here.
I like that, familiar. That's excellent, excellent. I think Mo, what's going on with you? How's the welcoming environment for you here at UCF?
So when I started UCF, I would say UCF was my number one choice. So I was really happy to get into UCF. And when I first came to the campus, the first thing I said was, I'm gonna get a mean leg day because this is a very big campus. Because I was already just trying to figure out where to go, what to do, figure out stuff. But knowing I'm considered an extrovert engineer because I'm very outgoing and I'll network with anyone. So, I like the fact that UCF provides a lot of events, especially Spirit Splash. I also have my shirt when we did have Spirit Splash, so I love that. And in addition to that, the biggest thing I wanted to really get into was clubs. I wanted to join a club where we're not only just colleagues or like just classmates. I wanted to join a family. So, when I found SHPE, I was like, oh, wow, mi familia, I'm in. And SHPE really like did a very good job into welcoming new team members. I know how it feels when you're a new member, you don't know anyone. But SHPE made me feel like just like a family, like I was a close cousin. And I'm not even Hispanic. I'm half Jamaican and Black American, and they still brought me in. And of course, the club is so you don't even have to be restricted to only being Hispanic. It's all ethnicities that can join the club, and that goes for
right into a question I was going to ask, but go ahead. That's okay.
Okay, awesome. So with that being said, with all the events that was held by SHPE, I really loved it. I love being involved with the campus itself by UCF. And in addition to that, being involved with a SHPE among my other clubs, it was really a lot to do. And I love staying busy. So I was really happy to meet my team that you see here today,
Right.
So that was definitely my big takeoff.
So I'll tell you, you said club. I'm pretty old school. So when you said club, right, I went straight to the club. I was like, right? So yeah, so UCF has multiple clubs for you all to be a part of. Are there other things that you're involved with other than SHPE?
So I'm actually also in Society of Automotive Engineering, which is known as, and the division I'm in is Baja. It's a single passenger vehicle that we work on that goes for competition every year. So, that was just for me to just get an experience, just to get hands-on experience building and disassembling any parts, since I'm already into cars. So I was like, why not get that experience and that exposure, right? And in addition to that, I'm also in the American Society of Mechanical Engineering. So that was just another club that I also wanted to be involved in, just to see what they have to also bring to the table, just for me to get exposure and also meet new people as well, because I didn't want to restrict myself to just one club organization. I just wanted to get out there. Nice. So that was really my story.
So what other things interest you all other than this organization?
I'm sorry, repeat that question one more time.
I said, what other clubs interest you all other than this organization?
The clubs, like the club or club organization?
Oh, no. We're back to clubs. We're back to UCF clubs now.
Oh, okay.
I kind of went off on a little tangent, but we're good. We're back. Yeah. We're back at the clubs at UCF.
So any other stuff anything that interests me, like UCF as a whole, I would honestly say there's a lot of other extracurricular activities you could literally just participate on UCF.
Right.
Like you could go kayak, and I would do that on the weekends early in the morning, and it's so relaxing. Oh my God. Because like, you know, you're studying all the time, and then you need to find a way to just take a break from studying. You just need that time to yourself. UCF provides a lot of extracurricular activities for you to do so. And, you know, there's other clubs that I'm not considered an actual like club member, but they'll still host for everyone to still participate no matter which club you're in, for you to just join in, just to have a social event, just to meet other people and just have fun and just get to know each other. So that was definitely a big thing. And in addition to that, you know, we have it's actually one of the biggest part in UCF, which is known as the Memory Hall on UCF campus, where they host a lot of big events. They even have like a blown up like bounce house for anyone to like join in, or like a bounce like slide for you to slide in, for a lot of people to just interact and get to know each other. And you know, the other biggest takeaway is, of course, you know, tailgates at UCF. A lot of students love to be involved with that. That's just a way for everyone to just really just have fun.
Nice. Let me hear from Kevin. Kevin, you unmuted. So what clubs are you involved with and things of that nature? Are they all engineering related, or are you having other types of fun?
Yeah, no, I'm having other types of fun as well. I'll start off with the engineering ones, just get the dry ones taken care of first. But I'm also in the Society of Automotive. I'm sorry?
I said the dry ones, okay.
The dry one, like the technical ones. I'm also in the Society of Automotive Engineers with Mo. I am in that's our little emblem right there. I am in the formula side, so we make a formula car, and single passenger car, just like the Baja car, but it's more geared towards racing and track racing. Super fun. As you can imagine, a lot of people really involved in that club. So a lot of good memories come out of that, a lot of technical accomplishments, but also a lot of great connections, a lot of learning, and fun times. Other than that, you know, I'm really big on like old school hip hop. So there was a club based around freestyle rapping. So I used to join that and just spit lyrics.
You can't just go there and say that. You got to you got to spit something out.
Okay, sounds good. Here we go. You really put me on the spot. Yeah, so from time to time, I like to spit rhymes from the dome, but I can't because I'm stuck at home. Additionally to that, I like to take my skills in breakdance. So whenever that comes up and I get a chance, I do it. That was really bad, but I tried it.
That's all. Nothing beats a try, right?
That's right. Okay. So yeah, those were the things that I got involved with, was the freestyle stuff. I also used to do breakdancing in high school, and there's a club that still kind of meets here now. I don't go to campus as much because of you know, the current situation. I don't want to turn this into a downer, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of facets to get involved in the arts. Like, you know, you don't have to be an art major to get involved in artistic clubs, and that's been great.
So what they call it? This is the pop lock. What is it? Is that what they call it? Pop lock.
You can pop. Yeah, you can pop. You can pop lock. You can pop lock and drop it. You know, you can do whatever variation of it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's nice.
Yes, sir.
San Diego, you're having a hard time laughing with this whole thing. So, I mean, what's up? You spitting rhymes too?
No, man, I don't spit rhymes actually, but I do beatbox. So Kevin and I make we're not only co-directors in development, but we also
you must have a signature song then that you two do together.
we've never done it, but I beatbox because I play the drums as well, so that's where it ties along. But I just find it funny.
Not going to drop a beat for us?
I could drop one. Let's see. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to go in.
I got carried away. Like, oh, you were gonna drop it.
I was about to go in. But
you were like, okay.
And then literally, when I was about to drop it, you're like, okay. Hey, Santiago's gonna go in.
No, but that's part of it. It's been fun. I'm actually also part of the IISE, which is for industrial engineers, and that's how I've gotten involved. But something I would like to add is that, you know, you mentioned how our transition to UCF, how we've each found it, you know, within our own experiences. And I think really the organizations that make part of UCF are a great reflection of that diversity and inclusion that we all find in UCF. If I'm not mistaken, I think SHPE UCF is, I believe, the biggest of, Carlos, is it the biggest of Region 7 or?
So it's one of the bigger
biggest
ones. So
one of the bigger
UF,
ones?
UCF, and USF are the biggest chapters in Georgia, Carolinas, and Florida. But we were the
Mhm.
second to largest chapter nationally last year when we had 400 members.
So that's
Yeah.
nice. And so the thing is that you guys are the student chapter and you are tied to a larger organization. What's that tie like? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so SHPE as a whole, it's a national nonprofit. So there are chapters all over the country. So from Florida to Hawaii to Alaska, New York, Iowa, Idaho, you name it. So we're broken down into 7 regions, and we all come together. Whether it's through events or through the national conferences. Last year I called into a general body meeting in Alaska. The president invited me and another past president to speak. So having that interconnectedness and that sense of familia, regardless of whether you're from UCF or UF or even a bull, right?
Yeah.
We're all connected to each other. So it's always nice coming together, whether it's with the region or from other chapters, because at the end of the day, it's like, hey, what's up? How you been? How's everything? Where were you last year? Tell me about that. How's your journey changed? Right now, I'm working with UF to do co-events with them and Embry-Riddle next semester. So at any given point, if you have questions or concerns, you can reach out to the broader familia and ask for advice, ask for connections, ask to help put yourself on the next part of your journey.
Right.
So even though it's a national organization of over 13,000 members, you don't get lost, right? You have that support system regardless of where you're at, whether at the professional level or the student level.
Great. So now I'm going to transition. I looked at your website and I was looking at some of your gallery, and you all have to update your gallery. Come on.
Yeah.
You gotta update your gallery. So we need some new pictures. You're going to graduate and we won't even know what you look like because there'll be no representation of yourself on there. But anyway, I was intrigued by SHPE Junior and mentorship. Can you all talk about your mentoring and how that all plays into it? It looks very fascinating in terms of what you all are offering, not only to elementary and middle school and high schools, but you also have some mentoring going on within university as well. So what's that like?
Yeah, so SHPE Junior, so it's our outreach program with the local elementary, middle, and high schools. So we reach out to the community and any high school or middle school that wants to have a SHPE Junior chapter. We help them kind of set that up. It's a national program, so it's not just UCF that does it. It's any chapter that wants to take that initiative, they'll reach out locally. In the past, we've had a pen pal program with a low-income elementary school where we would write letters with 5th graders and we would do that back and forth. And then we'd go visit them at the end of the semester. With SHPE Junior, we also do a national conference every year in the spring semester where we bring out high schoolers, their parents, and we do activities with industry. So last year we had them build bottle rockets and we had the parents build it too. So it was interesting seeing the parents come together and build one on their own and the students build one on their own as well. And then as far as mentorship, I ran the program a couple years ago, and it's meant for members to have a resource, a point of contact, and someone where they can feel comfortable reaching out to for advice. What classes do I take? Who do I avoid? What's the best thing to do for me? And we make it a point to make sure they have experience, whether it's research, whether it's internship, to have as much room for success as possible. So with that, regardless of whether you're senior, junior, freshman, or what have you, you have a network of people to reach out to and kind of lean on to help support you along the way. So mentorship is one of the pillars of SHPE, and we really make it a point to showcase the importance of having a mentor, whether professional or amongst your peers, to help boost yourself forward and boost each other forward as well.
Nice. What are some of the highlights for you all in being a part of those 2 programs?
I can speak a bit about it. Sorry, Valentina, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kevin. I'll go after you.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been both the mentee and the mentor. As a mentee, I was actually matched up, not with somebody here in the university, but it was actually somebody on the professional chapter who worked at Boeing, which is a company I eventually ended up interning at. And it was just a great experience in that inclusivity, right? Like I just felt like they were sending me to somewhere I didn't know. It was Huntington Beach, California. You know, don't know anybody there, but I had an instinct point of contact, and it was great to have that support from that person and somebody who went through the same things that I'm kind of going through as well. So that was a great experience. And then as a mentor, also really eye-opening experience as well, because you learn a lot about yourself while mentoring other people. And so, you know, I think typically the mentor-mentee relationship is looked at as, oh, the mentee is getting all the info. No, the mentor is learning so much. And so I learned a lot from my mentee, and hopefully I was able to instill some, you know, positivity in his life as well. So I think it's a pivotal part, I think, as professionals. And, you know, we're in the university. Most of us are going to be in university because we want to one day be a professional practitioner of our craft, and in this case, mostly engineering. And so it really gives you that, I hesitate to say leg up, but it kind of really does give you that leg up because you just have that foundation. You have somebody else's foundation to work off of. You don't have to create your own.
Right.
And so you're kind of crowdsourcing success in a way by implementing mentorship into your life. So yeah, that's
kind of a cultural thing, right? You know, you stand upon the shoulders of your ancestors, and they continue to promote and push you to do better. So I appreciate that sentiment.
The totem pole of success. That's right. I respect that.
Excellent, excellent. Valentina.
Yeah, I was a mentor, and it was an amazing experience to me. It was so important to give back to SHPE. I think that's a huge thing that you see in our chapter, and the sentiment that anyone you speak to is, how can I give back? That's why our members are so involved and so passionate about everything they do. SHPE is a big family, and as a family, they give so much to you. And from that, I think you just build such a sense of gratitude that it's so important to give back to you. When I started in SHPE, I was purely academic. So I think I had a 4-point GPA at that point. Super into my classes, did everything. But like I said, I would go to my classes and go back home and wasn't involved. Coming from parents, like I said earlier, that are immigrants, they didn't have that like ability to develop me professionally. All they ever told me was, you need to go to school so that you can succeed. But they didn't know how to prepare me for my first interview in engineering, or how to write a technical resume, or all of those tools. So I had a friend who basically forced me to go to SHPE conference. And that's when everything changed, when I started to prepare for that, getting that aspect. So he was really my mentor, even though it wasn't through the official program. As a member of SHPE, he just knew how much value it had, and he saw in me certain talents that he knew if like I had that professional side, I could go to the next level. And after that conference, I went from not having one internship, not having one research opportunity, to having 3 full-time offers and an internship offer on like already set to go. So right after that conference, I was like, I need a mentor. Like I am so conscious of the fact that I would not be here if it wasn't for him, and if it wasn't for SHPE, that it's so important to me to make sure I do that for someone else. And like you said, it's a very cultural thing. It's something that was instilled in me from my family. Like, you help others, and that's just such like a big thing. And you see that a lot. You see that people in SHPE really want to give back just because it's something that's a big value to them. Nice. And I think that's what makes us so close-knit as a family.
Cool. So that's really a good question to ask all of you. Who are your mentors? Who do you pay homage to, or would you want to pay homage to right now, that really has helped or supported you as you're doing this run here. And we're getting close to the end of the hour, so I want you to add to that. So I want to hear from each of you, maybe who do you look up to? Who is your mentor? And then what's your passion? What is your goal? When you are finished with UCF, what are we going to know you for?
That's a strong question. I'll start it off. I'll do my best to give everybody a couple minutes to think, So
that's
for
what
me,
see, that's a good mentor right there, you all. I want you all to know he is looking out for you all. He's modeling.
Oh no.
All the way into the next part of it.
Kevin's blushing. Kevin's blushing now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So for me, the person that I look up to the most is the closest to home that you can get is my good old mama. From the get-go, kind of cards stacked against her, made it work. 3 kids, single mom, made it work. And so I try to take some inspiration and ideas from her of how it is to find success in a world that's bringing you down. And it's about grit, it's about commitment, it's about remaining to who you are. And those are lessons that, everybody can say, like, oh, you need to be yourself, But when you actually experience what it is like to be yourself, and again, in a world that doesn't want you to be yourself, you really start understanding that value. So for that reason, she's the person that I look up to the most. I say if I could have, 10% of the success that she's had, I would be a successful man. And at the end of it all, I want somebody to say similar things about me that I'm saying about my mother. It doesn't have to be a child of mine. It doesn't, have to be somebody from family, but somebody to say, like, oh, Kevin, like he has this reputation, this momentum that he never let go of, and he is holding true to who he is. Right. I don't want to be a CEO because of CEO's sake. I want to be a CEO because the CEO means that it's going to lead me to my dreams, right? And so on and so forth. And I want people to say that he's doing that because Kevin wants to do that. He found what he wants to do. He found his direction, and that energy is going into that, while at the same time lifting other people to hopefully do the same.
Nice.
That's enough time, everybody.
I can go next.
You paved the way.
For sure. Thank you, Kevin, for taking the lead on that. So it's interesting because I feel like there's the whole idea of self-made, or you hear it nowadays. I'm a self-made millionaire or this and that, but in reality, I don't think anyone is really self-made. There's always people that are pitching into your life, pouring, or like giving you some help or advice. Exactly. So for me, first and foremost is my parents. I often refer to my mom as my world and my dad as my anchor. My mom I can go to for absolutely anything. Both my parents I can, but you tend to go to the mom. And my dad, he's my anchor. He's like my counselor. I can go to him, talk to him, but they're definitely people that, I contribute everything to. But more into like the college level here and my peers and everything, like I mentioned at the beginning, both Carlos, Tony, Kevin, they've really helped me out. Carlos has helped me out with my resume, with, hosting or learning how to host these events and everything. I also find mentors that I don't have immediate contact with, whether it's through a book or through a podcast. I love listening to podcasts. So there's a lot of podcasts and a lot of people that I consider mentors that they don't even know who I am. But I'm like adding from the things that I see that help them become the kind of man that I want to become. And I take those little pieces and make my own. As far as like what I want to do, what I'm passionate about, passion is a very interesting word for me because a lot of people think that passion is found, like you look under a rock and hey, or it falls on your lap. Something that we've been it's almost like preaching in SHPE is that your passion is not found, it's developed, and you develop that through interests, right? So for me, the interest that I've been developing is definitely one that goes towards like using engineering to really help the world in sustainability and proper use of resources and really thinking in the long term, like really long term. So as something I'd want to be known for, not only leaving UCF, but also as, I guess you could say legacy wise, is really being one of the major individuals or major groups of people that leaders that could actually help direct our world into a more sustainable direction.
Nice, nice, nice. Who's next?
I can go next. I would say that, it's gonna sound like repetitive again and sounds like a little bit cliche, but I think the best example that you can have of like the ideal man and woman, or the person that you want to be, comes from your parents, correct? My parents has gone through a lot of things and they made it work at the end, right? And I've seen my dad really being the columns of the house, and my mom being this like really warm-hearted, like really welcoming to anyone that want to share something with her. And she always had the right things to say, right? Whatever I need to listen or I need to hear is going to come from her mouth, right? So that really inspired me to be someone like them, right? And that goes hand by hand with who I want to become at the end of my journey here in college, right? I want to be someone that someone can look up to, right? I want to inspire. I think that everything starts with someone listening to another individual, and this individual says something that blew the mind of this person, and this person wants to become a better version of themselves just because this person listened to this specific thing, right? That sounds really messy, actually. I'm sorry, but I'm still learning English. But but what I want to say is that, yeah, I want to be someone who inspire. I want to inspire you to become the better version of yourself, right? And academically, I had the best mentor ever, Señor Carlitos Arboleta. Since day number one, he offered me his service as a mentor, basically. And he was like, if you need help or anything, just come to me. And it's been a really, really, really great journey with him. Not only receiving advice academically and professionally, but also personally.
Nice. I said kudos to Carlos.
Yeah, kudos is the man here.
I have something to say. If there's time at the end, I have something to say about something Tony said.
Cool. So let me hear from Valentina Monet and Carlos real quick, and because we're coming close to the end of the hour. So what's going on with you all?
I'll keep mine short really quick. So for me, as far as mentor, I can't come up with one. It takes a village. Having been through this organization for as many years as I've been in it since 2016, there's hundreds of people that come to mind as far as mentors, as far as advice. And at least for me, I associate mentoring even with my peers. I don't think you need a title. I don't think you have to be above or below someone to be a mentor or mentee. It's what can you learn from those around you. And I think everyone in the SHPE, whether they've graduated or they're here currently, and even those on the call, everyone has had something to offer to help me become who I am today. So it comes down to the village. I have the village to thank for that. And as far as what I would love to be known for, is helping pave the way for those that are going through what I've had to go through, and helping them realize that you have what it takes. Me being a double minority, being LGBTQ and Hispanic, you go through it. You go through that self-realization, that self-acceptance, and empowering others to do the same, regardless of whether you're in the industry or in academia. And having a resource to lean on, and having someone to help empower you the way I was empowered through the organization and UCF.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And so we're going to have the two ladies bring us home.
So I'll say something. So I'll keep mine short as well because of the time. Number one person as my role model, my role model would be definitely my mom. My mom came straight from Jamaica, and from coming from Jamaica and coming to America, she had to retake some classes that she already had completed from Jamaica, and she still made sure to pave that pathway for her to meet her goal. And I know it was a lot. She was a single parent. But at the same time, growing up and watching her made sure to let me know what I need to do as a young lady, because my mom wanted me to grow up and make sure that I'm an independent young woman that can do whatever field that I pursue. And it's going to be a long, hard road. But like I said before, it's just a test to make sure, is this what you want to do? Because once you have your mindset, then go for it. And she made that clear to me. In addition to that, as for my mentor, I would say, even though I didn't get the opportunity to have mentorship by my peers throughout my club experience through SHPE, from one of a previous conference, we participated in. I actually had actual opportunity to be mentored by another engineer that's actually from another defense company. So right now I'm getting mentorship just by her, and honestly, shout out to her because she's really been helping me build the pathway for my professional development and for my career growth and what I'm looking for out of that. And you know, of course, that also ties in with my passion. I would say the biggest takeaway coming out of school, I definitely want to be a leader, but not for the title. I want to make sure as a leader, I'm making sure to help future students build that pathway into engineering, especially when this is a very difficult field to do so. And it's okay, you know, I just want to let people know that there's going to be some failures, there's going to be some obstacles, but at the end of the day, you have to stick to it and you have to grind it out, and you will achieve what you want out of what you want to pursue. So that's the biggest thing for me, being a leader for the future.
Great, thank you. Valentina, bring us home.
Yeah, I would definitely say that while I don't have specific mentors, I've definitely had many women that I look up to. I think we a lot of times don't speak about what it is to be a woman in engineering. More than that, a Hispanic woman. So really starting with my mom, who so incredibly strong, independent, the reason why we got to this country. That was like my first example. And that's why I never grew up with like that kind of doubt of like, oh, you're a woman, why are you doing engineering? I didn't encounter that into university because at my house, it was like, of course you're going to be an engineer. Like there was no doubt about it. Just from the example she put. So I definitely want in the future to be known for helping others do and reach their dreams, their goals, not just anyone in general, but specifically minorities, because I feel like unless there are those of us who speak for it and make sure that we fight for the people that are coming after us, we're not going to see a true shift. Hopefully one day I'll have a hand in equal pay for women. And yeah, that's why I'm part of the SHPE committee. But I think it's not only through helping others, but you have to lead by example. So yeah.
So shout out to women breaking the ceiling, right?
That's right.
Shout out to women breaking the ceiling. So thank you all so much for being a part of today's show. You definitely have, made me proud to know you, to get to know you, and to recognize that our future is bright. And I'm looking forward. I am actually championing in you all to be the successes that I know you will be. I think UCF is definitely something that may be giving you the pathway to do it. But just listening to you and how you embrace each other and how you are embracing this experience is really powerful. And I am so happy that you had an opportunity to talk today. Please share this podcast with your friends and others, and know that anything that we at ODI can do for you, we are here for you. That ends our hour. And again, I just cannot be any more appreciative of what you all have brought today. Next week, we have 2 exciting shows. I just want everyone to know. We are going to be on Wednesday next week and also next Friday. And our shows are going to be surrounding on Wednesday, National Native American Heritage Month. And we have some individuals from the Native American community who are going to be talking about what that experience is like. And then on Friday is Universal Children's Day. And so I'm going to have a bunch of little kids on the show just to talk about what life has been like living in the pandemic and what their futures are holding up. And so please kind of join us on next Friday as we kind of hang out for all of that. We will be able to provide for you all links to our podcast. We are now on Anchor FM and Spotify. And we're also definitely streaming now live on YouTube, but we are also going to be asking you all to subscribe to our ODI channel on YouTube so you can see the podcast, but you can also hear it on Spotify. So we're excited. So we thank our sponsors. One of our sponsors for this podcast is the Foundation Office, and so we're really appreciative of it. So thank you all one more time. Thank you, and we'll hope to see you all next week. Okay.
Thank you.
Today ends MOD, which is Matters of Diversity. You all be good. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.